Okay. Hello. Welcome. We have our next tourney match on the line. This is what it looks like right now. We have 4 players who advanced, 2 matches played and 2 matches to go. And today we have Group A. The players are getting ready, the lobby is set up, so you should be good to go in like a few minutes. Yeah, sadly the one match, the server crashed and the players and the tournament organizers, we agreed that we can't determine any winners, so we will do a rematch on Sunday, this Sunday I believe. Yeah, so we will have to play that game again. Very sadly, it was very close to finishing that game, and it was a very close game, so very sad that we can't determine a winner there. But like, it's damn near impossible to do so, because so much can happen in the end. Like, players can fail to cap a region, can succeed to cap a region. You can't really determine that. And the Lands Red Council was coming up, I believe, in 0.7 days. So there can basically be every resolution, and you can't really predict that. Yeah, so we will have a rematch, and we'll see who wins. Let's see if they're ready. Okay, I think they want to redo the lobby. Or maybe not. What's going on? Okay. A new lobby. This should work. Okay, one player missing. I see. They wanted to change their name. There they are. Okay, everyone is ready. I think we're good to go. Wonderful. Okay, and we're ready to go with the round 1 tourney match, Group A. The players are getting ready, spawned on the map. So, let's begin. We have Roxcool on Corino, we have Remas on Vernias, Solian joined the Discord fairly new on Harkonnen, and Skippy on the Smugglers. I think this will be an interesting match. Most of them, I think, newer players, from what I can tell. I've played a bit with them. I think played a few matches. I even coached our Vernias player here with one game, so it will be interesting to see how well he can do. We have a fairly common choice in the councils for Corino, with Irulan and Gaius Halon. Gaius Halon giving you a bit more political power. You can try to win some land threat resolutions with her. And Irulan, of course, for most players, I think a must pick on Corino. On Vernias, we have also a fairly common councillor choice, Bolik and Bronzo. And I think it's fairly common to take these two. It allows for an early expansion because Bronzo of minus 20% authority to neighboring regions, which is really, really good. And of course Bolik to have some early game tempo in building your main base out. The Harkonnen councillors, I don't know them very well, but I also think this is a fairly common choice. The minus 30 recruitment time to recruit is very good, plus 2 manpower. And of course Piter allows you to reduce your mission cost by sacrificing agents, which is very powerful. Our first smuggler player, I think, in the tournament, very exciting, Staban and Lachan. Also I think very common to take Staban. You can take regions that are like singled out and you get plus... Oh no, Staban is a different councillor. Gives you +1 underworld headquarters. I see. So it will be interesting what strategy they've come up with. Oh, I see in the chat, send truces for tech. That's, well, it's very smart to give an early sign, hey, I'm open for it. And of course everybody likes Vernias truces. Technology, let's see. Yeah, fairly basic. Taking developments from every tree. After that it will be interesting where they will go. For Vernias, yeah, very nice. Taking the 3 blue techs here. Holistic thinking, some players only go to theoretical computing, but I think it's very nice to go to holistic thinking because every analytical machine you place on a field per information field will give you 1 knowledge, and that is like a small knowledge boost in the early game, which is fairly nice. It's not a lot, but you take what you can. So it's nice to take that up. For Harkonnen, okay. Local dialect studies into work ethics, then intelligence network. You want to go for instill fear very early, and also go for Arrakis badges fairly early. Instill fear allows you to reduce the authority cost when pillaging a village, which with Harkonnen is very, very strong. Because in the late game, you have like villages that cost you, I don't know, maybe 50 authority, 30 authority. You can take them up for very, very cheap, and then maybe like try a hatch boom. For smugglers, opening with composite materials, foot in the door, spying logistics. Spying logistics always nice for the plus 200% agent recruitment speed. It's very strong, you should pick that up early. And now going for organized looting to get your scavenging drone, of course. Very nice. very... I think it's a good tech order, but I'm also not an expert on smugglers here. Let's look at the map, what we've got here. We have an interesting desolation towards the middle. Yeah, we will see how Vernius manages to go around that, or... two deep deserts. Will be interesting to see. Taking the Plascrete region first and doing knowledge building. I probably want a Plascrete building there. The knowledge, the research hub costs like, I don't know, 100 Plascrete, so taking the Plascrete region first to produce more is, I think, a better choice. We will see what region they will take next. They have minerals here. Yeah, that's a nice region. Has good quirks. Also allows you to harvest this second spice field, so they have 2 safe spice fields in their hand. Can also place a silo in there. Their third spice region is up in the north, also easy to take, and one in the south. So I think they have a nice spawn with Great Volcano in the back. Of course, Great Volcano giving you plus 100% fuel cell factory resource production, so you get 20 fuel cells from that. Very nice for them. For Carino, let's see. With Carino, you always want to check your village quirks, because the Imperial base gives you +1, +2. Basically doubles the village quirks, maybe triples them, I'm not sure about that, we will see. So it's always good to look out for your village quirks here. This one is fairly good. Okay, first lance red. Let's see how this will go. We have infrastructure control, goes to Carino, rejected the polar sink, water subsidies, and this one passes. Yeah, will be good for Carino to pick this up here early. And of course, Gaius Halon Mohiam. Don't think this was affected by an edict, so it will not get the power with it. But nice for them to pick it up. House Vernius and House Carino already allying. That's a bit critical for Vernius to... As Vernius, you don't want to necessarily boost up your Carino player, because they get faster into the late game. So it's always like you have to make that choice. It's yeah, you can do it, but you don't have to. It gives Carino a helping hand, basically. Those village quirks, not too good, but also not bad. The Plascrete one is nice. Analyst is very good, giving you +2 intel. If you build that out and double it, and then with the base, you get a good amount of intel from that, which is very nice for them. This village is nice. That are we talking about? Yeah, here. Versatile, scientists. The scientist quirk is very nice. You can build double the research hub, then it gets doubled by the base, so you can build one more. Then you can build your investment office on it and can build one more. So this will be your knowledge region here. This also very nice village. Industrious, giving you +20% Plascrete factory production and +1 Plascrete factory. So if you build that out, this will be quite enough for Carino to build out their Plascrete. So very nice quirks for them to start out, and we will see later on where they might want to drop their base here. Harkonnen spawn. Not bad, I would say. They have an easy access to Mount Idaho, so I think their Plascrete production will also be very safe. Having acid lakes in the back, already building knowledge in it, which is very nice. So 2 knowledge from that region. They are on 8 knowledge. That's good. Sandfall in the north and Well of Riches in the middle. They of course want to go on a pillage spree here, pillage all the villages nearby because they can take them easily up afterwards. And a smugglers player up in the north. Very, very secluded, very boxed in here. They have Space Wreck Cruiser, which is very nice for them to get their raid up early. But that's about it when it comes to special regions for them. That's not a very nice spawn for them, I would say. They have a lot of regions to pillage here, but they lack on special regions. They might want to consider grabbing the middle. I think that's a nice pickup for them because Vernius can't reach it easily. Harkonnen has like a long walk towards it, so taking the middle is an option. Yeah. Wow, aggressive taking here. The fuel cell region. They of course want that fuel cell region because they are picking up their scavenging drone. The scavenging drone is a very nice unit for them. Every time they pillage a village, the scavenging drone will give you a certain amount of money, and with armor upgrades a certain amount of intel when you bring that loot back into your own village. So a very important unit for them. I'm not sure if they are going for a Chome early on. We can look. Oh, they're buying 9%. It's not bad. Carina also starting, of course, with I think 5%, so also buying a little bit. We will have to see if the smugglers want to Chome here and how the lobby will react to that. Vernier is taking the Great Volcano. Very nice for them, securing basically their fuel cell needs for a while. Building Administrative Hall, starting out with that, of course giving you 30% authority production, which is very good for them for their expansion here, because as Verniers you wanna have a fast expand. So hopefully they can expand towards the south here very fast, take that special, also that spice field. As Vernius, of course, you can connect your nodes through the deep desert, so this node would connect the regions here, so they don't have to worry about taking this or this region. They just have to walk down here, take this region, and they're fine. This take from the smugglers will be a problem with Vernius later on, because I don't think Vernius like this region bunkered up with this village in smuggler hands, so this will be like a conflict zone later on in the game. I can already tell. Okay, we have our second lance red now in 0.7 days. Oh, welcome.
Hey Ming, sorry, I didn't want to blow up your spot or anything.
No. You want to commentate?
Is this the sure? Is this the first round still? One of the pools?
Yeah, this is the first round.
Okay.
It's the third game, I think.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and our second lance red. Let's see what Corino does. If Corino wants to edict something, they're not choosing to. Very nice lance red for Vernius here. Gaining lance red standing and Solari. Very good for them. Yeah, I already talked about the map and the research.
Sorry, I just loaded into Spectator.
I see.
Thankfully. We could.
Okay, we see
addresses.
our second main base buildings here. For Verniers, the research center, Corino doing nicely. They're going for a triple blue and a double yellow building here with research center and administrative hall. I think that's fairly common. In our last games, we always saw that newer players tend to build economy, like trying to build up a big economy because it gives you like a safe spot to build up from. I think that was fairly common throughout our matches. With like more experienced players, you have players that will try to have a deficit economy.
Yeah, a little more targeted build.
Yeah.
Maybe like for Corino, like a red-blue opening type thing. You get the votes and the military going.
Yeah, going for like a aggressive military opening. Of course, smugglers can do that, selecting the recruitment center as their first main base building, because they of course can pillage all the villages and have an income that way. Will be interesting to see if smugglers decide to chome here. They're buying 11%. How the other players will react to that.
Yeah, and Corino's staying somewhat even. We'll slow Smuggler down a little bit at least. It is scary though when Smuggler just shoots up to 20-25%. No one's even close. The price they kind of get priced out of the market entirely.
Yeah, for sure. We will see. All players doing a fairly good job building up their main bases. I think Harkonnen doesn't have one yet. I don't know if they're lacking the resources. Yeah. They're waiting a bit. Maybe for the money and the blast greed. I think smugglers only have one special region in their bag. So they have to expand forward here.
Who are they playing? Have no stacking off. Okay. Sean and Star.
Yeah, I haven't played smugglers a lot, so I don't know what those counselors do for you, what the strategy is here.
I know. Again, I don't really play very much Smuggler either, but I think LaShawn isn't as preferred these days. I know there was a period where he was very strong, and then I think they nerfed her, and then I think they buffed her up a little bit again. But she's the one that's giving you the levels when you trade with people, which can be there's definitely some dynamic stuff you can do there, and then also they reduce 50% slower when you take agents off, which can be nice, or if an agent gets captured.
So it might be assassination time here.
Yeah, assassination. It's also like an eco boost. I think she's giving you, Solari production and also influence production per information level you have on a.
Yeah, I think faction. the influence production can be very strong. I think U12.
Yeah. Smuggler can get it going big time, and then you combine that with bounties, and they can actually be a pretty formidable political threat.
U12 did that to me in 2 games. Very strong combo of going for Chome to trade with insider trading, assassinating me before the land threat, and then going for the governorship.
Yeah, that's quite. Yeah, LaShawn, super helpful for that specific approach too. I feel like
very devious. Really Oh, I like the Verniers circle on the map building here.
Yep. What a sanctuary.
The Verniers sanctuary. Also doing a very nice job taking these 2 regions and bunking them up already. So maybe expecting the smugglers to be aggressive early and taking precautions, so very nice. And now going south to expand towards that special there.
Indeed, and wasted no time going for trinkets there. Should be interesting. Will be
wow.
The one special, but you know, can't hurt to get that going early. You're the one that's determining if you shut it off eventually or not. So.
Yeah, I coached Remas, I think, in one game with Vernius. And he has the basics. He has the basics very well set. I think we just talked about big macro play, what regions to take, where to be careful, like selecting regions, then bunker them up. Yeah. Ah, third land strat. This time, Carino decides to Edict.
Carino is playing Gaius, so that's fun. So Carino should be able to get that outright.
Yes.
Actually, I mean, Hark would still win if they went all in, right? But
true.
I doubt they would. Yeah.
But they choose not to. So very nice for Carino to have that extra research.
Definitely, and territory contest doesn't go through, which means nobody's getting that Dear to the Houses minor lands rat boost either.
Yeah. I'm not sure how strong territory contest is. I'm always unsure about if I want to vote that up or down.
Yeah, it's very... neither do I really, and it's like depending on which faction you're playing, or like I feel like Carino would love it if they were holding a special and had another special, because it kind of, you know, they're not super expansive generally, and it kind of could help them get to a 10k pretty quickly or whatever they're trying to do.
I think if you have two specials, you definitely want it. It's like
or if you're anticipating taking if you can get two.
I think then it's very strong, and if you know the map already and see if other players have a special already, yeah. Okay, very nice. Harkonnen building the first main base building, administrative fall. So getting that down.
Don't dislike that. But I like the use of the single slot there, and they are pursuing yellow, looks like here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
The single slot, of course, giving you 15%, reduces the research cost for economy by 15%.
So that'll be helpful getting up into a crew training program. But it looks like Ark is rushing symbols here, which is definitely something you can do, I think, reasonably. It's really going to scale the cost of a lot of tech that you want. But the trade-off, of course, is that if you don't get it early, then it's going to take forever to get symbols. And it's, you know, it can be pretty important, but you don't have wonders, right? Like most everyone else does. So unless you have a bunch of specials, it'll still feel pretty bad, even with passive cooking. It looks like Hark will have a good amount here.
Yeah, I like that setup here.
Yeah,
having three spice fields already.
Up to 5 maybe if they're able to. If Smugglers isn't interested in Sandfall for some reason, and then Hark goes and grabs.
They have a really good setup here. They have
Hark could have a
potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specials.
Yeah, and it all kind of depends on where Carino decides to drop.
Yeah.
Looking at that, I don't know. I mean, I guess a safe drop would be. Let's see what kind of quirks they have touching here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just the one under Imperial Basin is somewhat safe, and it gets you a little closer to Moondew.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough decision.
I was looking at the one under the Harkonnen spice field.
Yep. And I would just be so scared if I was a Carino in that, because it's so close to Carthag, and Hark is such a good base killing faction. If they get a good wipe on you, and then if they say they chain some admin burdens on you, there's really not a ton you can do.
On the other hand, we didn't see a base kill yet in this tournament.
Yeah, true. So I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything. And to be fair, Carino also does match up very well militarily with Hark generally, so it's not the worst idea.
We will see. Yeah, I think the newcomer meta here has been very favorable towards rushing trinkets early. I think a lot of people did that. Atreides did that in one game. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a strategy. It's definitely very good for some factions to do that.
And interesting. So the only alliance we have on Arrakis right now is Carino and Vernius, the only non-aggression pact. Which isn't good or bad, it's just interesting.
Definitely favors Carino, I would say.
I would say so as well. It doesn't look like they have any actual treaties going, though. Just the non-aggression pact, which is obviously giving Carino all that tech to include trinkets. But Carino has yet to take a special.
As smugglers, yeah, I would definitely want to take the middle region, Polar Sink.
Definitely. And it is, man, it's going to be tough to hold, especially without Stakhanov, because it's so isolated up there. There's like no village even. If you get up there and get that airfield out of there, you're attacking smugglers.
Yeah, that is true.
To get back in there, but I agree, they are pretty limited in terms of their prospects here.
They're definitely choming. They're at 17%.
Yeah.
Very exciting to see.
Hedge prospects limited, but yeah.
We had 2 Carino players choming in our last games, but I don't think anyone else tried it yet.
Did either of those Carinos win on Chom, or was it mostly just a military scaling Chom type thing?
I think they tried, but it doesn't really work out that great. So in the end, one Carino player gets second place, but through hedge and not to Chom.
Oh, and private mandate's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, both Smugglers and Harkonnen want that.
They definitely do, but Smuggler has the prime time territory.
Okay, interesting.
What happened?
Harkonnen prioritizing the authority over the pillaging.
Okay, so maybe Hark's idea here, they are going symbols right now, so maybe their idea here is, coming to try to take Well, which it looked like they were, although they were just rebuffed by Carino.
Yeah. As Harkonnen, I want to bunker up Crescent Ridge on the right with the knowledge region there.
So going out there to grab that, maybe they even extend a little bit and try to go grab Sandfall, and then just start trying to get a bunch of passive cooking. And then the beauty of Hark is you can expect to lose a couple of those specials, but you're going to get half off cost if you decide to go take it back after. And the fact that they have their workshops coming so quickly means that they can rack up a lot of passive hedge in the meantime. So it's definitely a viable strategy.
For sure. Vernier is doing a really nice job building out the base, doing the rainbow thing. Maybe I would change the red building order, building recruitment center first instead of the barracks, because it gives you a bit more manpower production for your suboid blob in the early game, because as Verniers, you always want to build as much suboids as you can in the early game. They're cheap, they don't have any upkeep, and you just run around with them and pillage.
And if you have the manpower to spread, you don't care about really losing them all that much, do you? It's just
yeah, it makes it so much easier.
Oh yeah. Park with an interesting choice. Their second building, Mason Guild, in the triple slot.
And now going for recruitment center. So triple yellow,
which I do,
triple red.
I do like recruitment center. I would say I think it's not necessary, but if it looks like they are kind of playing a bit of a hedge game here, they're kind of priced out of the chum market at this point. They're voting for the authority. I would like to see maybe a research center going just so that they're getting that extra hedge on taxes and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
Stage.
I think research center is such an important building in the early game.
Important. Yeah, it just does so much for you.
All the players doing a fairly good job on the knowledge. Carino with 20 knowledge, Vernier is of course ahead, as they are always. But also Harkonnen doing a good job of keeping up. And of course their fast expansion ties in with Lay of the Land. Like the more land you take, the more knowledge you get.
Oh yeah. And then with that research center, when they decide to put that in, it'll be nice. It'll give them a nice boost. Carino, fully built first main base with a triple. They're gonna have 400 base votes. They do have 400 base votes, which is pretty intimidating if I'm the rest of the lobby here.
That is true. They basically can win every charter they want.
Drop came down on that. Yeah, that one I was describing, which I think it's nice and safe. Gives them, really cheap basin and then a cheaper Moondew if they decide to go down there eventually.
Yeah, it's a very safe and nice drop. Yeah, very cozy.
Nothing wrong with it. Let's see, are the quirks anything crazy? Not really.
Don't think he's dropping for the quirks there.
No.
Now as Harkonnen, when I see this, I want to go and grab the knowledge region and Crescent Ridge and bunker them up and then take Well of Riches.
Get a little triple missile turret setup going. Yeah.
I think then they're in a very good spot here.
I agree.
Solian, of course, the player playing Harkonnen, joined the Discord fairly recently, so it's playing a long time. But what I'm seeing here, he is doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very, very strong base to build off of here.
I think that's what we have seen in the Tourney. Most of the players building a strong economy in the start, so they have like a good base foundation to build the military on.
I guess the only thing I don't love about Hark's build right now is the lack of it's a little they're building their red district out, their triple red, but they don't have very much red tech at all. And they only have 24 CP out, and so if in theory if Carino wanted to come run through there and try to pillage them, they might be able to get away with it, at least right now. But
that's what I've been seeing too. Going for the recruitment initiative and down to adrenaline addiction is just so important, basically for every faction.
Agreed. And I mean, I guess it helps that there's not, maybe they felt it out and they saw that nobody was being particularly aggressive, and also there's no Fremen in the lobby. So I guess maybe smuggler would be your biggest concern, but yeah, I mean, there's certainly a justification to be made for putting off some military tech in certain lines.
Yeah, smuggler's been fairly peaceful here, just choaming aggressively. So
yeah, and we might see some fireworks here soon. It looks like they're making their way out towards Sandfall, and I think Hark
is eyeing it too. Yeah,
Sandfall as well.
Yeah, but as we said, they don't have the military yet, so
they do not.
They can't fight smugglers there, I would say.
Okay, let's see what. In theory. Okay, no, I was going to say, because Hark does have some pretty great military operations, combat operations, so sometimes you can overcome a superior force with a sleeper agent and combat drugs.
Okay, they do have Raban out, I think.
That honestly, if Raban was there, that could be the difference in that fight.
Yeah, but he has to walk him up.
A fight. Yeah.
Okay, smuggler arrives first at Sandfall.
Yeah, this is having to fight the militia here too, and not focusing the ranged is going to damage that trooper pretty significantly.
Yeah, we will see if smuggler decides to go for that. They're dropping operation, poison with the reserves.
Now Hark, if they really wanted, could get a quick pillage off before Smug could respond here.
Ooh, very nice. Leaving one unit behind.
Yep.
Very nicely played.
That's a smart play, and you save your army there. You disincentivize Smug from having to come out to that territory anyways, even if they were just going to pillage.
Yeah, very well played. And as Harkonnen, of course, you have the instill fear, so if you want to take that region later on, it will not have a higher authority price on it.
Make it much cheaper.
Vanya's pointing out what Smugs is doing on the Chom market. So hopefully the lobby is aware that that is a danger.
Oh man, yeah.
Of course.
And this is, I mean, it's kind of a brilliant. And did they get? Yeah, they got. I guess that was the Landsrat before,
yeah.
Right? That I'm thinking of, where they had private mandate.
But now they voted controlled markets on them.
Yes.
So
although, of all the factions to put controlled markets on, it certainly doesn't help Smuggler in their economy. That is true. But Smuggler's economy is one of the few in the game that can be pretty separated from the spice exchange.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
they don't rely on their spice fields.
Yeah. Their pillages are just so efficient. Their UHQs can generate them a lot of eco.
Now I think a lot of new players don't know what the UHQs are. So of course,
I haven't seen. Yeah. I haven't looked to see if he's building those out. Or...
I think he's building those out. I see a few in Harkonnen territory. The UHQs, of course, are the underworld headquarters. Smugglers can install in enemy factions' villages and then give them extensions. So we see some extensions here, like bootleg market, scavenger cages, dead drops, and each extension has gives them a different resource.
Yeah, and of course Staben, the counselor, is giving him a third extension slot on all of these UHQs.
Yeah, so normally you have 2, now you have 3. And later on in the game, I think at 10k hedge, they also can install major UHQs in the enemy headquarters.
And those ones are incredibly significant in terms compared to the regular UHQ buildings that you're putting in. The major UHQ buildings can give you some major benefit, almost like a main base building of your own.
Yeah, definitely very strong.
Yeah.
And
just
I think
big global buffs.
that also adds to the difficulty of playing smugglers. So I'm very excited that we have one here in the tourney.
Yeah, smugglers has always been a little intimidating to me to play.
For sure.
Played them a few times, but I definitely didn't get the most out of them.
Okay, we've got the early craft workshops down for Harkonnen and Verniers.
Okay. I guess the only thing Hark has to be careful about is, say Hark does take these, goes down and takes Crescent Ridge, takes Sandfall, takes Wellerriches, and the idea is just to get a ton of passive going. It might make it a really easy decision for Vernius just to simply turn off Hark's passive.
That is
true. Which of course is, if he's the only one making a ton,
they know how to, because I taught them.
Oh god. Yeah. So the Vern have figured out our Hark secrets.
They are aware.
Yeah.
Because Hark's passive doesn't lie on valuable trinkets. For every other faction, the craft workshop building is tied to the valuable trinket tech, but for Hark, it's on Wonders of the Desert.
Yep, where Wonders would be, and then where Trinkets would be is Savage Cleansing for Hark.
Yes.
Which is also fantastic. So it's not great when that gets obfuscated for Hark, but it's still, it's great that you're able to maintain your workshops at least.
And Hark now going into the military, so very nice.
Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to see. And of course they have Adrenal Addiction via Vernius right now, but don't want to rely on that, so I love seeing them.
Don't want to rely on the robots.
Yeah, I love seeing them going down into that tree despite having it through Vernius right now.
Okay, and Vernius now expanding in the south, and they want to bunker up those 2 villages here against Corino. So, very nice villages for them to take. And also building out their army very early.
Oh man, yeah, that's going to be pretty tough to take.
Oh, very nice. And already reshuffling their main base buildings.
Oh wow, and it's been pretty peaceful thus far. It's not like they're under too much pressure at the moment either, which I know, sometimes finding a timing or a moment to start replacing all your buildings can be a little tricky.
Yeah, Art was pointing out that it may be a bit early to do that. Reshuffling the main base buildings.
Is it just because you want to get a little more value out of the rainbow research stuff, or is it? Okay,
yeah, exactly. If we look at the research tree, they have a bit to go. They want to definitely have some more red tech.
Yeah, and definitely it'd be super helpful for some of this T4 stuff, like Wonders, and I know they're getting automated defensive.
Yeah, and if they're not in conflict, as Adras is pointing towards, if they're not in conflict with any faction, they can get away with having their main base buildings not reshuffled, being a bit greedy.
Yeah, they don't need the 2-slot or the 3-slot bonuses at that point necessarily.
I mean, of course, they maybe think, okay, I need the 150 base votes against Corino, so they're not dominating the land threat so much. Maybe that's like a thought of them for them.
Let's see what. Okay, it's not like Smuggler has a huge bank built up, but they are sitting at 23%, which is going to be tough to overcome for the rest of the lobby. And I'm really liking the approach that they're most of the territory is just wide open and is just being used to pillage.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing here. As smugglers, I think you don't want to take a lot of territory, because each territory, I think,
the own territory cost is pretty brutal for or the own territory penalty, I should say.
Yeah, the more territory you own, the higher the cost to annex new territory is. I think that's how it works.
It is, yep. And it is not tied to distance, which is, nice at least. But the own territory penalty is pretty brutal in its own right.
Yeah.
So late game, even a territory right next to your base might cost you 300 authority, 320 authority if you have a lot of territory.
The big bonus for them, of course, is they don't have a penalty of a territory being away from their base. So even if they annex like a territory across the map, they don't. It will be a high cost for them, but not extreme like.
Yeah, and they kind of have a diet version of Instill Fear, where it's not actually doing anything good for them, but it's just not giving them a pillage penalty to capture
debuff.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, Vernia's definitely in a bit of fuel cell trouble here. Maybe did the transformation to that a bit early, as Ad was pointing out in the chat, in the spectator chat. So maybe you want to hold off a little. I mean, Vernius doesn't have any threats here. I mean, the smuggler villages in the north are a little thorn. But Smuggler's not taking that, so only pillaging.
And there go Harktook Sandfall up there, which I like to see.
Very nice.
And I imagine they have their eyes on Well and Crescent Ridge, but I don't think Carino's going to let them just have their way with Well, at least.
Nah, Carino missing out on the versatile quirk. South of the base, there's a scientist village. And with versatile, so if
and all he has to do is just drop that wholesale market. Put
a red building there, because the red building will activate the quirk here. Right now it's not activated, so it give them 40% resource production, and I think that also applies to knowledge, right?
It should, yeah. So fortunately, so at least Scientist is giving you 20% on all those hubs.
40% in total, right? Because it's doubled. So it should be 40.
Yes, 40%. Yeah, you're right. So it is doubled. So at the very least, you're getting that, but it would be working a lot harder.
Yeah,
right,
it would be 80%.
If they got Versatile going. Yep, which is
that's crazy.
Especially for a territory with 4 hubs on it.
Yeah. Wow, Harkonnen doing a nice job on the knowledge.
Oh, and Hark just attacked Smug?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
They dropped toxic vapors.
Although there is a vapor, and I don't think Smug realizes.
No,
and
they don't.
Units are,
maybe they want to fly out, but they're in combat? I'm not sure. They can't fly out here.
It's got time to kill all of these units, I think.
Yeah, toxic vapors. It's such a strong mission, because it also doesn't give you an alert if you're smugglers. It doesn't give you a mission alert, so maybe they just don't know that they're...
Oh, okay, so they just survived. Sorry, yeah. I thought it would be enough to get all of them, but still some damage. But yeah, you're right. The alert thing has been a sticking point for a few people. I know Cream complains about it a lot. He doesn't see that there's a vapors on him, and then he yells at the game for not giving him an alert.
Yeah, it can be annoying. Like,
it can be
if you don't notice it, but it has a nice ring to it, because I don't know if it's in real life. Like, if you know there are toxic vapors in a room, maybe it's it is silent.
A lot of it. That's why I think they have to. They have to scent certain gases in gas lines, because if they don't add a scent to it, then nobody will know that they're breathing in something toxic.
I mean, of course, if you're not a Jedi, like in episode 1, they knew that in the first scene. It's not that silent.
Attack of the Clones?
Phantom Menace, I think.
Phantom Menace,
in the
okay.
one of the first scenes at the Trade Federation.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the assassin in Attack of the Clones for some reason. There's poison. There's definitely poison involved there too. But
okay, wow. Harkonnen attacking smugglers here, destroying that airfield. Very nice.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very tough to respond to. Although, Smug has a sizable army that's,
Oh.
there.
Harkonnen having 3 agents on the smugglers and having cells on them.
Oh no. For those who are unfamiliar, Hark has, without a doubt, the strongest assassination game in Dune Spice Wars. Their assassins can be made incredibly cheaply. They can get 3 cells, and also if they sacrifice for their assassination operation, then they get an automatic 50% detection, which a lot of people think is broken, and it's definitely leaning towards broken as opposed to just strong, but it's going to be pretty hard to assassinate Smuggler here, though.
Yeah. I mean,
just
they're pretty wide.
It will take 3 searches,
1, 2, 3.
Which I guess is what you're going for.
But you definitely know where the cells are.
You know exactly where they are, and it's honestly not the end of the world.
You only have
with
one.
The way they're playing, if you just have
you're
to
building stealth detection in those villages, and then you're probably fine.
Yeah, you'll
so
be fine.
It will be very hard.
Worst case scenario, you could just maybe abandon that fuel cell down there.
Smugglers walking through the desert, risking the worms.
Drop, risking the worms. Do they have a decoy? They don't. Oh, and here's the worm, and it takes a chunk.
Oh, now they might not be able to beat that army.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
We'll be close. Maybe those 3 company can.
I think that one executioner alone is.
And another worm.
Yeah, that worm's pretty devastating.
Maybe.
So let's see what kind of upgrades he has going.
He has all the
interesting.
Upgrades. Okay.
The Hark though doesn't have meat shield, which is an interesting choice. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just
the meat armor, I think,
alive.
Right?
The meat armor.
It's very strong, I think.
It's incredibly strong.
It makes your executioners basically undying.
Yep, up to 20 stacks, I believe, but it's pretty rare that an enemy.
So if you're in a game and seeing an executioner with low health just not dying and all your units attacking it has meat armor on.
Yep.
Very annoying, very strong.
So that's a good reminder to if you can start by killing executioners, which is not always easy to do if there's a bunch of Serbs or gunners that are keeping you from doing it, but it's definitely can be worth it to get a couple out of the way so you only have to deal with 1 or 2 of the immortal ones at the end of the fight.
Yeah, Carino
of course,
pillaging a siege here. Very nice.
For Sardaukar, as a Sardaukar just cut right through it.
Okay. Oh, Verniers and Smugglers fighting in the north.
Oh, and the Wraith is out.
My brain at your service.
The Wraith is out. Let's see. But the engineers are not seen by Smugglers at the moment.
Oh, and here's another worm. Okay, the snipers are moving in. It's gonna be a full wipe in favor of Vernius.
You should come aboard sometime.
Does the Wraith deal damage to the drones?
I don't believe it does. It deals a little bit.
It deals damage to Sater and engineers. So Sater dies here. Now the engineers are seen. But I think it's too late. Vernius might win that fight.
Too late.
Okay, the Smug's army is down. Vernius has enough drones to take that
Wraith and
out.
the Wraith is gone too, yeah.
Very nicely played by Vernius here.
My brain at your service.
I guess the silver lining is Smug does have Space Cruiser Wreck, so it's not going to be too hard to get.
Space Cruiser Wreck allowing you +1 guild favor that you produce. So if you trade on top of that, you get +2 guild favor.
Yep. And it looks like they are trading on top. So they already have 60 more in the bank. So they're not too far off getting another raise
back
back
up.
up.
They're not that worried about it. But of course, a good choice by Vernius to attack that region. They definitely want to have that.
Oh yeah, extra fuel.
Extra fuel, the bunker, so very nice.
Oh, so Address is saying it does damage the drones, but the engineers are just healing through it, healing the
that makes
the drones
sense
through it. So it doesn't appear as if the drones are taking any damage.
Yeah.
The drones.
So Vernius taking Sater, very nice pick.
On watch.
When I coached Remas, we talked about it, and talked about the different counselor choices. You can of course choose Nua or Sater, but Sater is just really strong. Making your engineers invisible in a fight is very strong ability, and of course giving you +1 armor upgrades on your units.
Yeah, it's just the stealth alone. It forces pretty much everyone, not everyone, but it forces a lot of people to keep a probe setup on them at all times.
Yes.
Or waste a building slot on maybe stealth detection if they're trying to defend against it.
Yes, because
so
if you're fighting against Vernius, the first thing you might want to do is either kill their hero, if you see them, or focus down the engineers. Because the engineers, every engineer can get a healing circle and heal all the drones around them. So if you try to attack the drones, you might just not get through them. So you definitely want to target
pointing out that this actually is kind of the perfect Kater lobby, because none of these factions have any natural military stealth detection. So everyone will need to keep probes ready to go if they're going to fight Vernius. As opposed, Fremen have their upgrades on their donkeys that can allow them to see stealth, and Ikaz has it on their muskets. And Atreides doesn't either, do they? They don't have any stealth detection upgrades that I'm aware of.
TNB messaging me. I should react to chat more. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. TNB is on holidays.
Oh, are you? Oh, in your YouTube stream?
Yeah.
Sorry, TNB. You should join. You should join Spectator, because Address is in here, and he's basically just commentating from Spectator.
Okay. Yeah, TNB pointing out the interesting counselor choices by Smugglers and Carino.
Yeah,
Guff heavy lobby.
Gaius, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Carino can definitely go for a Guff play here.
That's nothing crazy. I mean, Gaius is great. It's pretty rare that you see somebody play without Eurlon, so we're not seeing that.
They have not gone for a charter yet, which
they have not, which is interesting. Although there are.
Have.
I is up now, so I will be up, and Carino's the only one eligible. He's the only one eligible for any of them, in fact. Address is reacting to something major. Oh,
that is true.
Okay, he wants Vernius.
It's very aggressive here. Though. Which is very nice. It keeps smugglers away from pillaging here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's 3 territories right there. That's what 3,000 Solari per smuggler, consistently, roughly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he could have bunkered these 2 regions and attempt a base kill on the smugglers. I'm not sure what that would give Vernius in this instance, because there is no special. So, and I think Vernius wants smugglers to harass Harkonnen on the other side later in the game. So I don't know if it helps him kill Smuggler.
Carino just pillaged the sink, which is interesting. An interesting move.
Is it too costly for them?
Yeah, it looks like that's their second
Probably.
pillage on the sink, yeah. So they weren't too worried about capturing anytime soon. They've also pillaged well twice. Is that right? Am I seeing that right? I'm on their camera. If you're gonna pillage them, better to do it early, right? But
yeah, Vernier is shaping up to be the dominant player here.
I agree.
Yeah, I would say so too. They defeated the threat here in the north with the Smuggler Bunker and those two true villages. Have 2 specials, which is... You would like a third one, but
yeah,
it's very nice for them. Now, it
Carino
really
has
depends.
equalized
I think it depends on what Harkonnen can do on the other side here.
Yeah, Carino's equalized the Chom game a little bit, getting up to 13%. Smuggler's dropped down to 20.
Yeah, I think very nice.
Yeah, I think
very nice job by the lobby.
Hark first Vern is going to be how this ends up playing out, unless Carino's able to get some gov action through. But Vern seems ready to stop that.
Now, Vern having a problem with smugglers here up in the north, because Smugs is angry. Smugs didn't like that.
Oh yeah. Didn't like that, but Smug also has a heart closing in on their northern border.
Oh, that is true. Now
Here
the
comes
assassination.
assassination.
Wow.
Yeah, which is it's a 3 territory assassination with what looks like
With 1 cell.
with 2 2?
2?
Is it 2?
I think
But
it's
touching,
1.
Is it 1?
I think it's 1.
I'm seeing 2 on I'm seeing 1 on Space Cruiser and 1 on the territory next to it, but that might not be both.
Oh,
Hearts.
you're right. Now I see 2.
But Hart might just... Is Hart gonna do the... I'm not gonna let you investigate this region?
Perhaps. They don't have a supply drop here. Maybe they will sacrifice an agent.
They can sacrifice for it.
Yeah, they
And
did.
they do. Oh, but now they need a decoy, which they don't have.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, that was smart. That was a good micro.
Very
Move
nice.
The unit away.
Send the unit away from the main group.
Yeah. There's no guarantee the worm will go after that unit, but it definitely increases your chances of not a bad result.
Force the smuggler to come over. Abandon that Vern region. Now the lobby is doing a really good job containing this early Chom threat here by smugglers. Maybe a bit too much, I don't know. But
the
definitely...
Vapors goes down.
Now we will see.
I mean, this is just going to be a pretty convincing smuggler win, I believe, in this fight.
Yeah. Maybe Harkonnen just wants to occupy the smugglers here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they care about this army.
They don't care too much. It's one of the benefits of being Hark is you're never too heartbroken when an army dies.
Yeah, they can definitely rebuild here.
Yeah, and Robin, he cleverly kept Robin back the whole time, so never exposed him to the worm.
Okay. And they're having 10k in the bag and nice Solari production, so they might want to kill the smugglers to Chom for themselves.
Yeah. And okay, so it looks like the assassination he just takes offline. Probably seeing that there's no
not
there's
a big
no other
chance.
place to put any. There's it's not the greatest of chances.
Yeah.
Even with the potency of.
But Smuggler really having a hard time in this game, getting closed in from both sides, having 2 renegade bases in front of them. I mean, at least they're not lacking any space guild favor this game.
Yeah, they could get we could see like a 5 Wraith game in theory if we really went for it.
I mean, they are definitely in the game. They do have a lot of chances here because we are playing with the second place rules.
Yep.
So you can get second place behind the winner by different win cons. So you still can show them up to a big percentage and maybe win the game with that. Or win charters, get Dune governorship eligible, get the Dune governorship, and winning that way.
Yeah, and I will be interesting to see here. Looks like Carino and Vern very close in votes here. 550 to 540? Is that what I'm seeing?
That is true.
And Vern doesn't go for it. So Carino with the first charter of the game.
That's
and
very
Smug
good for
once
them.
again with controlled markets. And
Oh,
Vern
God.
pretty much all in it.
They're taking Smugs apart here.
They are, but again, like, look at Smug's eco. It doesn't hurt.
They
too
don't
badly.
really. Yeah, they don't really care.
They're on one spice, or they're on two. No, they were on two. They're on one spice field, which is only making
with
28
one
spice.
crew.
Most of their money is coming from their.
They
village
only
eco now.
have to pay their taxes here.
Yeah, that's all they really want that harvester for.
Yeah. But still, very nice job from the lobby recognizing that Smug is a threat.
Agreed. They definitely.
Oh, and here
I think the bigger
wow.
thing. Oh yeah. Okay, so and Hark's not going to be able to hide any longer that they're in the lead hedge-wise, and they have
But
a lot of hedge potential.
Okay, Smuggler is having their passive up, which is nice. Every player does so. Very nice from every player, but Harkin, of course, with their massive land in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty natural, and Vern, there's really little, not very much downside, right, for Vernius wanting to obfuscate Park's passive alone, which obviously is going to shut off your wonders, but at least you still have passive in the first place.
Yeah. That's maybe a play one can consider, obfuscating the passive here. They might want to hold back a little bit, keeping Harkonnen as a threat, and incentivize Carino to attack Harkonnen. Carino taking that bunker. Harkonnen did not take those regions.
Hart did put a vapor on it, though.
Oh.
I'll be interested to see.
These units.
It looks like these units are all gonna barely survive. Like we saw the Smugs barely survive.
Oh, Harkonnen flying over.
But
this Carino army is low.
Yeah.
Very nicely
Does he have
played.
one Sikia? Who's he running? He does, so he could heal.
Yes.
He could heal with one
heal
Sikia right now. All
but
of
he
his
has to activate
conscripts,
it.
but he fails to. Oh no! And the orbital is just gonna.
Oh, activated.
Just gonna completely eat through.
Ah, couldn't activate it here. So
Yeah,
this
I mean,
Carino
Carino
army
could have
is
won
gone.
that fight with just by using one Sikia's ability there. I think. Just getting all those conscripts back up
Perhaps,
with another 50% health. Yeah, it would have been closer at the very least.
Now we have a fight. Vernius against the smugglers here. Vernius trying to get access to the middle. But Smugs of course doesn't want that. Oh, and Vernius having a hard time defending against this. I don't think they can. They have to teleport out with their mothership.
Yeah,
And they're doing
There it
so.
goes. So they preserve most of the engineers and their hero.
Yeah. A little bit late. They could have done that earlier.
Yep.
Seeing that the fight is not going in their favor and just teleported earlier, but they're saving the most important pieces of their army here.
And Hark with the exact opposite of what I would do into a Carino here with just a full executioner composition, but I guess there's no Sardaukars on the other side, so... Oh, but they're not using their meat armor, are they? So I guess it's not...
We're ready, Baron.
It's not that ridiculous. They're pretty good units on their own, but
With
the
their
Sardaukars-
bloodthirsty stacks, they're getting plus 10 armor now, right?
We're here for you.
Are they...
+1 power.
It would be power. They get power off Bloodthirsty,
see.
right? Yeah. So Executioner's not a bad unit on their own right. So if you're not using the meat armor, it certainly can make sense to go a little heavier into them into Carino. But now standing in his own vapors.
That's not a good idea. But trying to kill the Kronos here with your gunners, yeah.
Trying to kill the Kronos.
Maybe.
Let's
The
see
vapors will wear
upgrades.
off.
Okay. Splitting and stealth on the Serbs, which I like. Kronos
Goes down. Nicely played by
down.
Harkonnen. Now they're trying to assassinate smugglers again, and smugglers only having one agent on counterintelligence. So this might.
Yeah, but it looks like it's only going to be one search for smuggler to get both of these cells out.
So this is dangerous.
And does Hark have? Will this assassin make it? I believe the assassin will just make it, but no supply drop.
But it got cancelled again.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe because you saw the assassin was going to have trouble getting there, but the assassin will get there. It's just going to be pretty weak.
He cancelled the assassination, right?
Yeah, I think
he did.
so.
But I just want to see the assassin would
have made it.
Would have gotten there. Yeah.
Very close.
Assassinating someone with so few territories, it's
so
very,
hard
very
to
difficult.
do. Yeah.
By the way, I was looking at Smug's tech tree and the build. They're not built for Chom, right? So I imagine that he has no blue, no yellow tech, and his main base is pure military. He doesn't even have Chom branch. So imagine he wanted to go for a hedge build and then got crushed. Is that what happened to him?
So I think so. They were on good terms, Vern and Smug, and I think all of his yellow was coming from Vern. But yeah, you're right. I think so. He quickly chomed up to like 25% before anybody else could really contest
on pure
it.
pillage.
Yeah, on pure pillage, pretty much that we could, and maybe some UHQ stuff. So I'm not exactly sure what the plan was.
Because the other thing I was looking at is they are floating as smugglers. You don't want to float authority if you have empty spaces for UHQ, and he is floating.
Yeah. 500 right now.
500 authority, right? So you should be spending that authority to build headquarters. This will give you passive and income as well, especially with the council organizing.
Don't think they have a lot of them. They have a few in Hark's territory, but you want to definitely spam those all over the map in regions you like to.
You really need to stop every now and again. Don't do anything. Leave your army in the main base and just spam those things and put them everywhere.
Definitely.
And this is just a brutal Landsrat game for everybody who's not Carino.
Yeah,
Smugglers just got back over 200.
Definitely very slowly.
No one is eligible for anything except for Carino.
We will see how Carino manages it, if they want to go for the governorship sometime, or a speaker first, or if it's too late for them to do so, because Harkonnen is just rushing with their hedge.
Yeah, and Harks looks like they're going to come take well here, pretty much uncontested, because Carino is fighting.
Hark didn't leave anything in his back pocket to capture late game discounts. Isn't that how Hark wins most hedge games, John?
Yes, but again, keep in mind here. There's a neutral sink, there's a neutral well of riches, and there's a neutral crescent ridge, all on Hark's border. So, no, you're right. They did definitely cut off a lot of their pillage territory if they wanted to pillage, and also denied themselves kind of like a sneakier spike in the back. But
how does it work? Do you want to explain how it works? The massive Hark spike they get?
Yeah, so with Instill Fear, every single time that you pillage a territory, you're getting minus 10% authority costs to capture it eventually when the pillage period ends. And those stack, I believe, up to 9 times. So you can, just on that alone, you can make the territories incredibly cheap. And there's also another tactic that if you want to stack on top of it, you can. If you're ever floating authority at some point in the game, you can capture the territories that you've been pillaging and abandon them, and that will take another 50% off the cost.
Wow.
Which is something I know Antonel has experimented with.
I've seen Harkonnen go from like last place to winning in like.
Yeah, so I've seen. So you can, in theory, if you're doing it all perfectly, I think you can. You know, you're gonna have like 15 authority cost villages in some cases, 10 cost villages in some cases to capture at the end of the game. And I've seen people do anywhere from like 6 to 9 captures at once, just on a bunch of close together.
But there's a fight going on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harkonnen trying to prevent that liberate there.
It's just so hard to fight under an orbital.
Yeah, this orbital mission is.
He needs more Cerberus,
so
right?
Strong.
He needs. Yeah, that is because looking at all the conscripts. Yeah, I would just come in there with a bunch of Serbs. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't fight under the orbital in any case, really. I would just wait for the orbital to end and then go in. The Serbs are very effective against conscript stacks for sure.
Ooh, and now Bernius is on Corino, but Smugglers in the north.
And Corino's
He's eyeing.
Very nice.
And he's burning. My Smugglers gonna attack Corino though in the north. Look at it. I put my money on.
Okay, so Bernie is trying to liberate that.
Hark has the authority to, if they wanted right now, take Well and Crescent Ridge at this moment, if they really wanted to.
They definitely have a nice spike, so to say. I don't think they want to capture those yet. They can pillage them and capture them later on in the game, because both villages are pointing towards them. Now, if those villages were flipped and the village was pointing to Corino, it's definitely harder for them.
And you told that was the other thing I was going to say about Hark's. So where valuable trinkets is for other factions, Hark has Savage Cleansing, which when pillaging sieges with a scavenger team operation, you can get it. I think it's somewhere between 150 to 200 authority for simply pillaging a siege. So you can really just spike your authority kind of at will if you have sieges to pillage. Obviously, it takes a while to pillage them, but if you time it all right, you can basically extend your authority cap to 800, 900 by spending 500 and then quickly having it timed so that you're getting another 350 or so.
Now, at this point, as Vernius, I would heavily consider the Harkonnen crafts obfuscation. Harkonnen just being so in the lead, and I don't think Corino can effectively put up a fight here.
Yeah, it looks like he has bigger fish to fry. This fight, I bet it's gonna go in Mark's favor. It's got a bigger army.
Yeah, it looks like Mark is just going all in.
And EMP going down here.
Good EMP, yeah.
And the capture here, and then I imagine so he hasn't pillaged Sync at all, so that he's not getting any sort of discount there.
Okay, Smuggler's just wiping this Vernius army because I think Vernius had difficulties setting up their army there. I think Sater just ran at the enemy forces. It's very hard to do, but you have to have Sater and the engineers on hotkeys and different hotkeys, so you can prevent them from charging the enemy and at the same time setting up your engineers to repair your units. So they basically have to stand still in the fight.
Yeah.
And Vern, the only one with a nuke ready to go. No one else is even building one.
Okay, Harkonnen
capturing. Yeah, but Hark is going all in.
Yeah,
we're gonna
Spice attacks in 7 days.
So here's the situation. Look, he actually has there are 2 authority POIs in Hark territory that he can buy, and that would instantly give him enough to also go take Sync.
Yeah.
Great thing about Smugglers is that if you have an UHQ in a territory, you can get those authorities POIs. If you're paying Smugglers,
that's the obfuscation comes through. Sorry, U12, I didn't mean to cut you off. Symbols of Authority is indeed obfuscated, which also obfuscates wonders for everyone else, but it does shut off Hark's crafts workshops, and it doesn't shut off Vern's, which is the significant aspect there. But the damage might be...
Now, the lobby must realize now in the land thread where to put those regulations. And I think they want to put that on Hark. Carino doing the right thing to edict water regulations. And both of them you want to put on Harkonnen.
I don't know, it's over Carino. How many regions is Carino?
Hark's gonna have to be careful here. If I'm Hark and I see this... If I'm Hark and I see this land's rat, especially because of water regulations, I'm canceling this capture on the village next to my base, because he's only going to have 27 authority in his bank, and if you go negative on authority, all sorts of bad things happen.
It's a disaster. You lose manpower production.
Yeah, so he does have the POIs. Yeah, and that's with gear regs involved as well. You definitely don't want your authority production going negative. Or your authority bank going negative.
Oh boy, double whammy for Hark.
Okay, so the lobby is doing the right thing here. Doing the right thing, putting the regulations on Hark, and now we will see if Hark manages. Don't think...
-7 authority on Hark, 20 authority.
Yeah,
He'll need to buy those POIs ASAP.
Not only did he have to spend authority to capture that village, it also, with water regulations, scales the negative cost. So he went from -6 to -7, and he has nothing in the... He does have these POIs he could use to bail him out. Just give him like another 100 authority to keep in the bank.
That'll probably be enough for the Nazareth.
It would probably be enough to last him through, but -7 is a big number.
Yeah, but
Hark can abandon, right? It can abandon strengths.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
Hark can abandon, and then that might work out for him. Maybe not.
I'm not sure if he needs to.
Yeah.
We have a tax in a day, so Hark, if he makes tax, which looks like he will, it's going to be a 27k with no passive.
You're very taking bad fights. He should not be taking those fights. But Nuke goes in the north.
And
he's not moving.
Oh,
he's
and
going to
he
lose
dropped it
everything.
too late. Yeah, he dropped it too late.
It's a bit too late, yeah. Now it's going down.
Yeah, but he nuked the whole army. The whole army is gone.
Wow.
The whole army's dead, but also you lost the territory, and now you have all the debuffs that come with dropping a nuke, which means...
Yeah, I don't know if that was the right decision.
It's only 4 days. The nuke prevents capture for 4 days. It's not a big deal. You can go take it. And this he can. But it's a pretty steep. You would want to have that not have been captured for dropping a nuke, in my opinion. Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah. Definitely a win in that the whole army's dead.
Yeah.
But as Vernius, I also want smugglers attacking Harkonnen there. So
Carino is coming in on Crescent Ridge right now, leading with the arty drones, which is an interesting choice.
I mean, they're the front line, right?
They are
tanky drones.
Yes, you need the tanks in the front.
Okay, so he doesn't have the range on them though. So they have no minimum range, right?
They're basically melee units.
Yeah. So they can be used in the blob at least.
Okay, so
he's taking missile fire shots from the tanks as well.
Yeah, we have like a blood feud between Smags and Vernius there, which is not great.
Smags is out of this game, I'm afraid. Unless I don't know what he could do. He's.
But to be fair for Vernius also needs to to have some entrance into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right
now they have one with that region, so they could take the polar sink.
It's an interesting. I'm not sure why.
Vernius should definitely take polar sink. You're right.
Yeah, I also think so.
It's a risk that Hark goes for it later.
This is just a quick teachable moment. Hark committed his army to stopping a renegade or rebel pillage on Mount Idaho. And he doesn't have passive anymore, so he doesn't have to worry about, the workshop being, and also when you let a village be pillaged, then no enemies can interact with it. So if Smuggler wanted to come attack him, he wouldn't be able to come start liberating that special. So sometimes I like to let those pillages go through if it's not a major resource I need, which it looks like it's just Plascrete, knowledge, water, and a maintenance center. So sometimes it can be worth it to let a pillage go off.
Yeah.
In a situation like this.
Now we see the minus authority on on Harkonnen, and they don't have any manpower left.
It's minus 65. He's in the pits.
Now Vernius still attacking smugglers.
Did anyone see? Did Harkonnen abandon Sandfall, or did something liberate it?
I think it got liberated, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think just freed. It was freed. Okay. So very nice job by the raiders.
Raiders with the big assist, and now Carino going to be taken. Yeah,
wow.
So this looks like a classic case of Hark maybe pulling the trigger a little too soon.
Yeah.
Now
they captured those 2 special regions a bit too soon, I would say. They can wait for it.
I do like how Vernius and Smugglers are fighting for essentially unimportant regions. None of them benefit much from them.
I mean, they're negative. Hark is negative 82.
Okay, here we see the Verniers set up in a fight. The engineers are all invisible, repairing, and Ceter also invisible, standing nearby. Now you can send Ceter in with his ability. He will execute 1 unit and turn back invisible. So you basically have 1 free execute.
For every hour.
So a nice 1 fight by Verniers there. But as Vernius, you definitely want to take Polar Sync to have a chance in competing for 2nd place or maybe 1st place.
And this is a classic. And what's hurting me about this is that Hark has so much money, and they have authority POIs that they could just buy all in their territory here. Maybe they don't have them discovered here. Let me see. No, they have them discovered. Because when you're he's negative 100 authority right now, and when you're negative authority, you make no manpower, so he can't get any units up. He has 0 manpower.
This is maybe they don't realize the.
I think they maybe don't
connection.
realize the mechanic. Yeah.
I didn't know that until you told me in the stream.
It's not. I mean, it's not often
that
you go super. It's often that you get a negative production number on authority, right? If you have water regs on you and you have a lot of territory, but it's not often that you go actually negative at a deficit. Man, but yeah, it's brutal. I learned that the hard way long time ago. I learned that I couldn't make any units. I lost the game in a horrible fashion. Let's see, Chomai, he only has 2%, so he can't make mercs even if he wanted to. Plenty of money to do it, just not the owned Chom.
Yeah, as Carino, you can definitely go for more charters here. You can try to get Speaker of the Council, because if you look at the votes, Vernius doesn't have any votes, and the other 2 factions can't really compete against your 400 base votes.
Yeah, Carino could bring up.
Or Smug getting sail incentive put on them.
He has very low land draft for Carino, so he's not gonna get go, I think, in time.
Yeah, the lobby is keeping with the tradition and keeping smugglers down here.
Yeah, Smug's like, what the hell, man?
It's the right thing to do, but right now smugglers isn't contesting Chom, and they won't in this game.
No, yeah. And it's, to be fair, it's not gonna hurt. I mean, Carino, it would hurt.
They should have done it with Carino.
Yeah, I think Carino would be the right. They're leading the game now, edge-wise, and also have
because it takes away military power from Carino, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, but Carino doing a very nice job in decapping Harkonnen here, exploiting the fact that they don't have any manpower to deal with. But maybe Harkonnen can now turn the tide. They have manpower production.
Yeah. They 43. Do have it back. They're making positive authority. They're still negative 80.
Very nice knowledge number on Verniers here. The best number, some would say. You aim for this number, basically.
Yeah. Okay. That's a win in itself, right there.
Yeah, it should give you a bonus.
Yeah.
Harkonnen trying to put the lobby onto Carino. I don't think does Carino have... No, they don't. They can optimize their special regions here. Put their special building, I don't know the name, is it? Propaganda office into that region and boost your craft workshops production.
Yep.
You definitely want to do that. Because then they can produce absurd hedge numbers.
They can, although only on 2 specials, am I seeing that right? Yeah. And they can still, obviously, as we're seeing, they can still get a pretty impressive passive number just on 2 specials. But what you really look for, as Carino, is the plus 20% statecraft quirk on specials, because that will apply to your workshops, and you can also double investment office. So you could double workshop, double propaganda, double investment office that region, and I think that region alone will
That's very strong.
It'll make you somewhere in the 40 range on its own.
Yeah. Now Verniers wants to sort out the difference with the smugglers here, but I don't know if smugglers is interested in that. They've been beat down the entire time.
Maybe smuggler is to go for Stink.
Smuggler
you should go for Stink, you should go for Soundfall. That's the only way he has a chance.
Yeah, I think so too. Those 2 regions
Sandfall is open.
Yeah, go for Sandfall, try to take
the Sink. He needs to go capture right now.
Yeah, I think that would be the right play there. But I also get being angry at Verniers and just want to get revenge.
But he has no access to very special regions and so on.
That is true. I wouldn't give them a lot. So Verniers definitely wants to cap the polar sink here. But maybe they're waiting.
I mean, they need to attack Carino, right? The game as is, Carino will win.
What's so interesting about this is that it's like if Park just grabbed these 3 water sellers caravans, he could take Sandfall back immediately with enough to probably take Polar Sink. If you really, I mean, that wouldn't get him close enough to win necessarily, but
no. Yeah.
So I think maybe they're just not seeing that these water seller caravans are giving them like 50 authority a pop.
Yeah, Ad was pointing out that the back regions from Verniers are still pillaged. Most of them have 2 pillage stacks, so it still would cost 500 authority for them to get these. What you want to do as Verniers is, at a certain point in the early to mid game, you want to stop pillaging these.
Yep.
Because
it looks like at least that spice will open up for a reasonable price pretty soon.
So in the early game as Verniers, you do like to pillage these, because you need the money for your main base buildings and your army, but you need to stop at a certain point.
Yeah, same with Friend.
But it's still very close here. Every player has a chance to win this game.
And if
they don't attack Carino, I think wins the game.
Agreed. Also, Carino could have just prioed. Oh no, Carino's not even close. Did they betray? I didn't see what happened earlier. They lost all their lands rad somehow, down to 279.
Oh, that's true.
They were up at like 400, I thought, at one point. Maybe you want to imagine.
And they missed spice tax 2 times.
Yeah.
So this might actually... You always want to pay your spice tax because you get hegemony from it. And if you miss those, in the end you might realize you could have won the game if you paid your spice taxes. So pay your taxes, folks.
Be a good citizen. Pay your taxes. It's ironic, though. You know, I guess no one is exempt from spice. The emperor, you'd think, would be the one person who could get away with not paying their taxes.
Even the emperor has to pay his taxes.
Yeah.
Goes to the guild. Looks like Smiles is eyeing the sick.
Space and guild resources. Is this Vern's base because the nuke? So they were pariah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they took some damage from the pariah.
Now this might be interesting, the portfolio scrutiny. So selling your chome shares will give you 3 hegemony per share. So this might interest Carino the most.
I think that sets Carino up to win the game with the passive they're making.
Yeah, and they can get this.
And the lead they have, yeah. So that'll give them what, like roughly 17%, roughly 1,000 hedge, a little less than 1,000 hedge.
And Vernius is realizing that and is pointing that out in chat. So it's trying to get the lobby to vote Vernius on portfolio scrutiny.
73. Yeah, so a little less, maybe like a 900 hedge they'd get if they sold all their chome with that resolution on.
Yeah, but it's just not enough. They have 900 votes.
No, it's not enough.
Is he selling now?
Now, yeah, he's selling.
Yeah, he's selling.
He's selling.
Yeah, so I think that's worth. That's a pretty much a free regular region and change.
For sure.
It's like a regular region and a half just to sell all your chome here. Although it is, he did have the chome lead while he wasn't getting the 30% bonus. With Carino. Oh, he has it through Vern right now. Chome manipulation, each 1% of chome shares is scaling your military power. So you are going to lose out on some military power by selling off all your chome. But
yeah.
And that's just Carino. They are unique in that way.
Now they have to make sure here that they pay their spice tax the next time it comes up, because they're still short a bit of spice. Now the lobby is gearing up to attack Carino here. So Harkonnen is not the #1 threat anymore. Harkonnen's crafts, of course, is obfuscated by Vernius, so they're not the biggest danger anymore. They still have Sandfall in the back to cap, and a few regions with Instill Fear stacks are around.
Yes. And I know I keep harping on it, but these water cellar caravans, these 3,
you definitely want to take that.
He could capture this territory right here that he's on to deny Carino, and also go take Sandfall with those.
Smag should go take Sandfall. He has no business fighting Harkonnen in a double region.
Yeah, I think as Smags you definitely want to take that region. You're right. I mean, Smugglers has a very unfortunate spawn. They only have 1 special region in their near vicinity.
Yeah. It's a really bad spawn.
This is not what they want to. Oh, here comes the combat drugs. I think this is going to be pretty. Oh, and the snipers are just in the mix. So this is not going to go well.
Harkonnen doing a very nice job targeting the hero.
Yep. The comms jam did come through though, so combat drugs got turned off. It's just I think the damage had been done.
Yeah, that's very nice. Nice use of the operation. Basically blocking all the Harkonnen operations in this region, which you definitely want. But Carino is coming in to help.
Opportunistically, although they might walk right into this worm if they're not careful.
Does have Carino the authority for this capture? They might. So Carino can maybe capture Well of Riches.
430 it would cost them, it looks like. Which
no one is truce. This is a 3-way war.
Close. They'll be 50 authority off being able to take it.
They have to position their drones right to shoot in there.
Yeah, 3 drones not shooting.
Now, orbital
But
comes
here's the
down.
I-wing button.
But the orbital comes in, which is an interesting.
But it isn't enough, I think. Oh, maybe.
No, I think the orbital might have done more damage to Carino there.
Now,
Carino
Carino
is
moving their
of
drone
course
in.
taking splash from their own orbitals.
Yeah, and there's a turret in the other region.
Yeah.
Very difficult fight. In the meanwhile, Verniers is trying to take the spice fields in the south.
And I think they'll be able to do it no issues.
And they want to capture that. So Verniers is submarining here. They are definitely, they can still win.
Has Vernius they're only on 2 specials, huh? Okay. So it looks like it should be more. But oh wow. But Vernius also looks like they took the pariah units a little lightly, and their bases. If they get another pariah strike on that base, they're not there to.
It needs to build missile turrets surrounding that main base.
Yeah,
but at the very least, you do have the folder, right? So you can get back really quickly if you need to. But
the problem is still that the regions around their base are still pillaged. Yeah. At least 2 of them.
And
so
that orbital strike
doing
a lot
very
of work.
Careful.
He's not leaving 1 unit. He should leave 1 unit.
Yeah.
Just one.
Well, and if you are going to leave multiple, you need to spread them out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spread them
And
out. Activate the engineer there.
Yep.
Okay, they're trying to do it, cycling out the units in and out to heal up and.
Now I've seen some secret tech where if you zoom in on the orbital, you'll see the little crosshairs from the missile closing in. I've seen people attempt to, and it seems like successfully, sidestep them.
Wow.
So as they're it's a very short window of time, but I'm not convinced it's like actually doable if there's anything else going on. But it seemed like it improved.
The nuke is going down.
Yeah, the nuke went down. Interesting.
That's 4 drones, not bad.
It's not enough, sadly.
No. He lost too much to the orbital strike. You just need to retreat with the orbital strike. Regroup and come back. You just can't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just leave 1 unit in, the rest on the border, and then if you have a little time, you just start cycling units in and out.
But Carino is making 52 intel. He has orbital strike.
Yeah, 52 is a great.
Vernius still has 500 authority and 2 regions to capture. So Vernius still has a little boost from Hedge in their pocket, next to the main base.
And he's making half the Hedge.
So if Vernius times it correctly with the spice tags in 20 days, they can do the spike here with 2 regions. Perhaps. Well.
What's the region? 700?
600 is 1 region. So they have 1, 2, perhaps 3. Yeah, they have 3 regions in the back they can all capture, I think.
Oh, and Adra's pointing out, rightfully so, if Vernius replaces the 2 agents on Arrakis with analytical machines, they'll improve their authority output there.
Wow, okay, the Emperor proclaiming world peace here, so the fighting is over. Truce is everywhere.
Yeah. See, this is a situation, though, where it's kind of a mixed bag, right? Because if there are any active liberations going, it can be good to stop them or like at least get the timer a little lower, but it's also a situation where people kind of have to betray, right? And if they do betray, they get 20% damage.
Vernius is capturing the regions now, so maybe it's enough for them. But Harkonnen also, on the other hand, trying to spike here. They have to get up to Sandfall and annex that. And technically they have the authority to do so, because they still have 1, 2, 3 POIs.
They have the potential authority if they see the... Oh, they don't have money, but they could sell Chom. They have plenty of Chom to sell. They're negative money.
Oh, Vernius also going into the negative.
And Smug coming in to attack Hark.
And Bernia has no trouble. Bernia's in trouble.
Vernius is in trouble, although... Yeah, Vernius is in trouble.
Yeah, Vernius
I
trying
think
to spike
timing-wise,
here
it
now.
might be okay.
How did he go into negative all of a sudden?
I'm
the
not
nuke.
sure.
He sent the
Probably.
nuke.
Yeah, he's nuked twice now, so... Oh no, this worm is going to be bad news.
Oh, they
For Hark.
have to get more spice. They're not making the spice contract. Both the Emperor and
big
Vernius
worm on
is...
Hark's army takes a big chunk out of
How
Hark.
is the Emperor missing spice contract? He's not fighting.
I don't know.
Missed it.
Vernius and Carino might miss the spice tax here if they're not careful. And now the next pariah is going down on Vernius.
And Macorino has expected stocks of 1.6k. They should make it now. Only Vernius is in trouble.
Oh, Vernius pillaged that region next to their base. That might be a mistake from them.
Down goes the Overlord.
Okay, smugglers are doing their job, keeping down
man.
players.
I mean, Vern is just barely alive at this point with the S-Ball
Yeah,
coming in.
they're in the pits. At this point, I don't care about money as Vernius. I just want to capture that region there.
Oh no! And Hark is being liberated by raiders on the fuel cell.
Oh, yeah. Harkonnen in a difficult spot right now. And Carino is just happy in the corner.
Yeah, this is Carino's game to lose. At this point, 10 days till tax. Gonna put him at.
Oh yeah, as
29K,
Kanta is pointing out
with
rightly
one
so, that we
capture.
might need a safe game here, because one of our last game crashed in the last seconds of it.
Oh no!
During Lantra, they can pop in their chat and tell them to stay.
Yeah, when is the next land threat? In 9 days. Okay. Okay, now
So
Vernius
Smug is
needs to
not within
stockpile
striking
spice
range.
here. Both Carino and Vernius might miss their attacks.
Korea is not missing tax. He has his halfway slider, 1.6 expected stock contract. Well, it's close. You're right.
It's close,
It's a bit close.
and it was. Excuse me. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. Drank water and went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, Vernius? Oh,
Carino,
no.
but yeah, the second one of those harvesters picks up, he slides under his contract.
Vernius craft workshops got deleted because they don't have any money. This is
Certainly not good.
And they have to stockpile spice here. They don't care about the money anymore.
Yeah, but he has a
Yeah, that's
1.1
what I was
rate.
saying. So
Yes.
the second Carino has a worm on one of his spice fields, and the harvester picks up, he's not going to have enough.
That is true. Okay, Carino capturing the Harkonnen village there.
That's all. It's an interesting. Try to imagine that maybe that's just cheaper for him because he had pillaged the. Oh no, the other one is pillaged currently, devastated.
Okay, nice. Vernius capturing another region here.
This is gonna be game if this capture goes through and he gets the tax.
Yeah.
I think, based on the passive that Vern is making.
Yeah, and Vern isn't gonna make tax here.
Vern is making no passive. He lost all
Right,
his
because
workshops.
Yeah.
both of them.
But Carino also might miss tax here. It's very close. Maybe they have a
Depends
POI
on
somewhere
On a
they can
last
get.
day worm. At present, he'll make it, but it just depends on
Yeah,
if a worm comes through.
that might do it.
And Smuggler keeps attacking hard. I guess he's the only one he can fight. But it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, I mean, Smuggler... I mean, he needs that regions to win, but at this point, it's very hard for them to win. They're 24k, almost 25, so... You could say he still can get second place, so it's no king making here.
Carino will make spice tax, so I think this is game.
I'm gonna go tell them to save.
Yes, that would be nice. So we will make a save game, just to be sure. We don't want another game ending just before someone wins. Yeah, it's very hard to get that spice tax when you're concentrating on all the stuff that is happening. You will see that in every lobby. Like in the most experienced lobby, there are people just not paying attention and missing their tax.
Oh yeah, happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
Smugglers
trying to get the second place here, trying to capture special regions. So
you miss spice.
Maybe
it's such a big hit.
Okay, the capture goes through, and spice tax hit. So this will be Carino.
Yep.
Huh? Is
3, 2, 1, 0.
There it goes. Bam. Wow.
Well played. Played to Carino.
Yeah, very well played.
Well played, all around, I think.
Yeah.
Early, mid-game, and then definitely some stuff that, some missteps and whatnot.
I mean, for Hark, after the obfuscation, it becomes extremely hard to win a game like this.
Yeah.
It's very lopsided when only one player gets the obfuscated workshops.
Yes, it certainly does get difficult.
But this will also mean Vernius is getting the second place here. Just behind... I mean, Smugglers tried their best in the end here, trying to get the comeback. They had a really hard time. They had a bad spawn, then chomed a lot and the lobby realized and beat them down. And tried their best here at the end to get second place. Yeah, very well played.
So it is, okay. Yeah, it was exciting at the end.
Cool. It was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, thank you for commentating. So, Works Cool will advance as first place, and Remas on Vernius will advance as second place. And I think our next match, the last one from round 1, will be on Sunday this week. And after that we have 1 week for training, for getting prepared for the finals and building strategies and stuff. And then we have the finals on the 5th of April with 2 matches.
Should be fun.
It will be fun, I think.
Alright, I gotta go. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
It's okay. I'm gonna go message Soli to be like, hey, those water cellar characters are super useful.
Alright,
okay. There's a lot going on for him. He was getting tackled by the lobby at one point there, yeah. Alright, later guys.
Bye. So, this was the game. Group A. 2 players advance. Here we have a bracket. So, the last game to play would be... who hasn't played? That would be Toysaurus, Course, Yvain, Castorex. Of course, the game that crashed. And we have to do a rematch, sadly. But I will be excited for it because I would argue their game was the closest of the ones we played, and I hope we get a second great game from them. Yeah. This will be exciting. And that's also that from me. I hope you have a great evening and see you around.